It's around 4:50 in the morning. I'm heading towards the Tokyo station where I'm about to catch the bus for Narita Airport, or how I like to call it, Shiba International Airport, because it's located quite far in Chiba Prefecture. Anyway, the reason why I'm going there is I'm heading towards Oita, Oita city in Oita Prefecture, to meet my friend Jeremy. We are preparing for a new adventure. I'll give you details a little bit afterwards, but I'm quite excited and pumped up for this because it's gonna be our first adventure in 2022.
While taking a bus ride, just a couple of notes about the forthcoming trip. Area we are about to visit is called Seto Naikai, or Seto Inland Sea, and it is probably one of the most beautiful places in whole Japan. It is a large body of water tucked in between main Japan island Honshu from above, that is from the north and east sides, and two smaller islands Shikoku and Kyushu from south and southwest. I don't want to go too much in details, but place is strategically quite important as it represents one of the major sea routes for ships coming from Kansai area and Osaka Bay to Kyushu and Shikoku and vice versa. Also, it is shortest route if you want to pass from Sea of Japan, for example from Korea, to the Pacific side. The reason why this place is a holy grail of beautiful scenery are hundreds of small islands. Some of them are quite small and uninhabitable, but most of them host hundreds of years old fishing villages and local communities that bear true and uncorrupted spirit of old Japan. The whole Seto Naikai area is around 450 kilometers or 240 nautical miles long from east to west, so it will probably take months to visit all interesting places. Unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of doing that at the moment, but we had to start somewhere.
Okay, I just arrived to Oita. To Jeremy will actually come later today, I think around 1 p.m. So I will have enough time to check it out around here. Oita is pretty much interesting, and it's especially famous for its onsens, spas. They are well known all over Japan. So I will try to seize the day today and do some visit of my own. There's many things to see around here in Oita. One of these places is the Jigoku Meguri, or Hells of Beppu, which is supposed to be a famous touring site with boiling water, boiling lakes of onsen type water, but actually it's too hot to take a bath in it. Pigmented in different colors depending on the minerals it contains. The place is located in the central area of the Beppu Bay. We are now on top of it. I'm gonna go there and rent a car, and hopefully it will be, I think, about 45 minutes, 1 hour drive to there. All right, let's go. What you see on the left side, it's the Beppu Bay. Now we are heading west toward hills above the Beppu. I don't know, can you see this smoke, the white smoke on the horizon among these buildings? That white smoke is not industrial smoke, it's not factories or something, it's actually all coming from the onsens, from the spa resorts. Wow. You cannot smell it, but there's a strong sulfuric smell in the air here.
This is first of 7 hells, called Umijigoku or Sea Hell. It was created by a volcanic explosion of nearby mountain about 1200 years ago. What I learned afterwards is that the beautiful cobalt blue color of the water comes from iron sulfate, which is sometimes hard to see because of the white smoke that constantly rises from 98 degrees Celsius hot water. The place is surrounded by serene Japanese gardens, and some people consider it to be the most beautiful of all hells. Nearby, within the same hell, there is a smaller pond called Chinoike Jigoku, or blood-colored pond hell. Although name sounds like a title of some death metal song, red color actually comes from iron oxide of also volcanic origin. A short walk through the garden brought me to the second hell, called Oni Shibozu Jigoku. English translation of the name would be something like Hell of the Shaved Monk's Head, because large mud bubbles emerging from the surface would resemble bald heads of the Buddhist monks. Although tourism started in late 19th century, records of this place date from early 8th century reports about local geography, culture and traditions. Place also hosts very nice small onsen within the same complex, where you can have a nice relaxing bath if you want. A third hell is called Kamado Jigoku, or cooking pot hell. It consists of 6 smaller lakes, and aside from a bit cheesy demon statue on the entrance, probably more interesting feature is an agave plant that blossoms every 60 years or so. Its name cooking pot hell comes after an ancient myth in which rice was cooked on a steam vents at a temperature that was reaching full 100 degrees Celsius. Cooked rice was an offering to the Ujigami, or guardian god, during the local shrine festival. One of the unique features of this hell was that visitors are able to taste water that comes from the vents. Water was cooled down to acceptable 80 degrees and probably represented the best refreshment on a cold winter day.
It has kind of a little bit acidic taste, a little bit salty. It tastes like soup actually. Quite good. I'm surprised.
And then it was time for some unexpected friendship with this little fellow that seemed to enjoy scenery as much as his owner. What I didn't mention is that pretty much any hell has within its premises a public foot spa where you can soak your feet and take some rest. Also, some places offer local delicacies, with steamed eggs being probably most famous one, due to their unique taste that comes from the minerals-rich water. Short walk across the street brought me to Oniyama Jigoku, or Devil's Hill Hell. This hell is popular not so much for its boiling greenish colored pond, but because of something else, which you will see in a minute. There is also an exhibit corner in a form of recreated traditional Malaysian house, which looks like something that belongs to Tarzan/King Kong movie because of its colonial entertainment vibe. And here comes the main reason why this place is well visited. This hell is a full-time home for about 70 crocodiles that were originally brought here from Malaysia in early 1900s. I'm not sure what is the reason for giving them home in one of their geothermal springs, but presumably Malaysian crocs like warm water, and warming up water constantly was probably not much economically sustainable 100 years ago when you have a natural hot springs. Shiriaki Jigoku, or White Pond Hell, was probably most serene and least visited from all the hells. Bluish white water of the lake is a consequence of sudden change of temperature and pressure of the erupted water that is otherwise perfectly transparent underground. In addition to the lake, there is also a small tropical fish aquarium nearby that also, as the crocodile hell, uses heated water to keep its tenants alive. All fish is an understandably freshwater type. However, two species I found very interesting, primarily because of their archaic, primitive features and their prehistoric look. First one, this fellow here, is called alligator gar and yields obvious resemblance with its reptilian cousin. It possesses unique ability to breathe atmospheric air, which allows it to survive in water with low level of oxygen or during droughts. The second one, piraruku, is native to Amazon and one of the largest freshwater fish, as its size can easily reach 3 meters. Due to small and inefficient gills, piraruku developed a lung-like tissue for catching atmospheric air, so it needs to resurface every 10 to 20 minutes. Because of this, it is capable of surviving in a water with extremely low oxygen content. Also, it can survive up to 24 hours outside of water.
Okay, I think it's time to make a break. It's lunchtime.
Luckily, there was an amazing traditional Japanese restaurant nearby that offered a unique opportunity to prepare yourself a steamed lunch of your own choice by using the hot steam from the local vents.
はい、どうすればいいですか？
何番ですか？こちらへどうぞ。
はい。Okay, and that's it. That's my steamed meal. Itadakimasu. It's really good. They have something called dango man. It seems to be a specialty for the only in Oita. It's really good. The last two from 7 hells are not in the same area as the first 5, so you have to drive a little bit, maybe 2-3 kilometers.
If name of this hell sounds familiar, that is because you already heard it back there at the first hell site, with the difference that this place was considerably bigger than its baby brother back there. However, rich iron oxide content and 80 degrees hot water remain the same. And you know how they say, blood is thicker than water. Tetsumaki Jigoku, or Spout Hell, is the last of the hells on my list. It is essentially a geyser that erupts in regular 30 to 40 minutes intervals, while the steam water fountain show itself lasts about 6 to 10 minutes. If you were already lucky enough to witness geysers on Iceland or perhaps in Yellowstone, you will most likely not be impressed so much with what you see here. However, if you know how to admire cyclic events and patterns in nature and enjoy the fact that geysers are not really an everyday sight in Japan, you might find the vigorous gush of steam and water is quite a sight to see. Only turn off perhaps was stone barrier placed on the top of the geyser mouth that was preventing a hot jet developing its full potential, which would be more majestic scene setup than the current one. As it was getting late, I decided to hit the road again. It was time to return back to the airport direction as Jeremy was about to arrive. We had to plan and prepare for the first leg of the forthcoming journey, but more about that in the next episode.
Past Iwaijima, which is quite a picturesque island. That's this big one up here, and then in through the port of Kaminoseki.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and please, as always, like, comment and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell button for notifications about future contents. Thanks again and see you soon.